Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Jon Jones is gone. He retired. Some could say he was stripped, but of course they're going to say he retired because he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. It's over. Jon Jones is gone. This is episode 50 of the Sunday Service. We didn't have a live stream last week, but maybe that was the MMA gods getting us ready for this live stream today. Jon Jones has been retired by Tom Aspinall. He didn't retire. He got retired by Tom Aspinall. It's over. It's over. I'm sure many people in the chat are going to be either with me or they're going to be very much against me. And the ones that are against me are probably going to be like, bro, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Nobody is saying he's not the GOAT. He's the best fighter of all time. Does he have the best resume? Probably. But if you dig deep into that resume, it does get a little bit questionable. I'm not going to argue that he's not the GOAT, okay? But we all saw how his career ended. His career ended the worst way it could, tarnished his legacy. Right now, I wouldn't really say that the guy is the hottest thing in the MMA fans' minds because, let's be honest, boys, the fact that you're supposed to be one of the best, you are supposed to be the greatest of all time. And then you pick up 2 wins in the last, 5 years of your career, cherry-picked, ducked 2 guys. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can we call him the GOAT? I'm not against calling him the GOAT. Watch him fight. He's one of the best to ever do it. Okay? But there's a difference between the greatest of all time when it comes to just fighting and the greatest of all time when it comes to fighting, personality, mentality, all that. We could debate it here. I don't even know what side I'm on. I'm not trying to be a fence sitter, but honestly, I'm just trying to figure it all out. And maybe in the next couple of years, we'll revisit this and we'll think back on it. It'll be like, that guy wasn't the GOAT. This new guy is the GOAT. Maybe we will, because for a long time, GSP was the GOAT. And then Jon Jones did his thing. And now Jon Jones is the undisputed GOAT. So that's the way we kick off the Sunday Service live stream right now. Hopefully, my connection isn't as bad as it looks on my screen right now. Please let me know if the connection is okay in the chat. I'm going to pop a celebratory pause. I'm going to pop a celebratory zin in honor of Jon Jones stepping away. Tommy Aspinall is the new undisputed heavyweight champion. Has that ever been done? Where Dana just announced this guy's the undisputed champion. Didn't have to fight for it. He just went from interim champion to the undisputed. No fight. Very weird. Very, very weird. Quality and connection is fine. Thank you very much, Ed Weens, in the IG chat. I'm going to hit the chats real quick. Yesterday, UFC Baku. I didn't get to watch a ton of the fights. A lot of them I was kind of just watching like a round or two here just to see how the fight was going. I did catch the last 4 fights, though. The entirety of the last 4. But a lot of them I didn't really watch. And apparently, not apparently, it's an actual fact. Two of the 12 fights ended in finish, so 10 of them ended by decision. That would have been a rough watch. I actually don't think they were that bad, though. When I was tuning in, I wasn't like, oh, my God, these fights are terrible. Like, the ladies' fights were actually pretty good. Alexiva and Segula looked like they were just slugging it out. Low-level stuff, but they were slugging it out. Daria and Melissa Mullins, they were slugging it out, too. So maybe you guys can fill me in more. I missed the Jun Young Park illegal knee that Nardi have hit him with. I went back and watched it. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff that the ref took 2 points. Crazy that he even continued. That was wild. But good for me because I had to fight to go the distance. Paul, how we doing, brother? Forgive me if I'm like squinting at the screen right now because I'm used to my screen being like right here. It's kind of a little bit farther back, so I kind of got to squint a little bit. Gone and back to jail. Gone and back to jail. I thought you were talking about Cyril Gane. Okay. I might need to put my glasses on for this because my reading is not looking good right now. Wanted the Tom payday against, dude. I don't know. I saw ESPN post something today about something Jon Jones said like a long time ago about how he only gets out of bed or only leaves his house for like over 100K. Dude, he would have made like 20 million, $30 million if he fought Tom Aspinall. Is he not going to get out of bed for that? Like, is he not going to leave the house for 20 mil? Like, come on now, bro. Come on. He could have had a huge payday. When it just comes down to it, like, we all know why he retired. What do you make of how Ilya said he wants Paddy for next after Charles? Are you surprised? I'm a little surprised because I thought he wanted Islam next. Well, it doesn't really seem like Islam is an opportunity because Islam's up at 170. I'm sure he probably doesn't want to go to 170, dude. He's like 5'6". Imagine a 5'6" guy at 170 when you have motherfuckers like Trey Waters who are 6'5", dude. Like, that's just not going to work out well. No, obviously, Islam was a 155er, and that's not to say Islam doesn't lose to JDM. I don't mind him going after Paddy, though. I mean, why not? There's a lot of beef there. I think that fight would be huge. That fight would be huge, so I don't mind it. Hey, Jive, the standing champ. Dude, I'm literally standing right now. This is the standing stream. I kind of like it, though. I get to move around a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, an hour-long stream probably going to hurt my legs a little bit. But maybe my legs will get a little bit bigger. What up, B Fatty? How we doing, brother? Also, Dana said he was sorry for all that time he wasted of Aspinall and the money he lost. Do you think Dana fucked over Aspinall, or how do you view it? I don't think Dana fucked him over, honestly. I think it was mostly John because, well, I mean, you could argue Dana because Dana could have, stripped him a long time ago. Like the fact that Jon Jones was scheduled to fight in November of 2023 against Stipe. He gets injured. And then Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich fight for the interim title. Aspinall wins. So right then and there, I guess Dana kind of did fuck him because Dana should have made the interim champion versus the undisputed champion and not put Stipe in there, who's 50 years old, can barely walk, and is a full-time fireman doing whatever the hell he is doing there. He shouldn't have made that fight in the first place. So he should have done Aspinall versus Jones after the November of 2023 fight instead of, waiting a full another year for Jon Jones to come back for him to fight Stipe and then waiting even longer. So, yeah, I guess I kind of do think Dana fucked him over because John was obviously not easy to work with, but yeah, I don't know. How about the Loner Kavanaugh versus Charles Johnson fight? That's going to be a banger Muay Thai fight. Who you got? I think 3 rounds. I think Kavanaugh probably. But, I mean, if there's good plus money on Charles Johnson, I might have to take a stab, dude. I think that's like a 50-50 fight. What's going on, Thomas? How we doing? This Chino's kind of getting the better of me right now, so I'm going to have to take some swigs. How about that Blaze decision? Dude, terrible decision. Was it like everybody on Kuniev decision and Kuniev money line that they had to make the call? Because, like, dude, I was barely watching the Tajir Maxim fight, and from the bits that I watched, I thought Maxim should have got his hand raised. Now, I think a lot of people will agree that Ulanbekov won, but it was pretty close. But the bits and pieces that I watched, I was like, dude, Maxim might actually win this. And then, of course, I saw the decision. Goes to Tajir, the Russian, the guy whose name ends in a V. And then I thought, Kuniev, being in Azerbaijan, going up against Blades, like, we couldn't get any cooking there, bro. We couldn't get any. No cooking from the hometown judges. Come on now. They had to have made a call. They had to have. Do I know what a jive turkey is? I don't, but I've heard it before. I don't know exactly what it is. How late am I? I mean, we're only 9 minutes in, not even 10 minutes in. So you're right on time, brother. Dana did that with Robert W. when GSP retired. I do not remember that, but I'll take your word for it. PFL the other night was so boring. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Also, you know how many DMs I got telling me I was getting my ass whooped in the PFL when Jake Hadley went out there and did fuck all against Marcelo Alves. I took a beating, bro. I took a beating from this 5'3" Brazilian who just marched me down and hucked bombs at me. Disgusting. Moto versus Nazim was Fire Prop Fight of the Year, but won't get it awarded. I don't know, dude. That might get rewarded as Fight of the Year. Honestly, when I think of fights that have happened this year, that's probably my favorite. Probably my favorite fight. I knew that fight was going to be a banger, too. I knew it was. Plus, Nazim Sadikov, I've said this since his Contender Series fight. I was like, I like this dude. This dude fights. I think I backed him in every single fight. Right? Or no, I don't think I backed him in the Borshov fight, but that was a draw. So, yeah, I mean, dude, Nazim Sadikov is fucking nasty. Iron chin, too. Iron chin. That dude eats so many shots. At some point, it's going to go. But that dude is built different. Park is such a gangster. Shout out to Jung Young Park, man. For real. 317 should be a movie. Made a lot of decisions, but it's going to be good. Maybe a lot of decisions. Yeah. I was kind of thinking the same thing when I was looking at it. Could be a lot of decisions. But shout out to Parlay Princes for cashing the long shots only live show bet. Plus 5,500. Dang. If I remember correctly, it was Usman decision, Naimov decision, and Sadikov round 2 KO. I bet he was going crazy when Sadikov was like firing. Or first of all, round 1, when Moto was nearly had him KO'd. And then in round 2, when he was going off on him. What up, Jork? How we doing? Shout out to Jork, always in the chat. I got to take Van KO against the defensively void Royval, who's also coming off a terrible concussion from training. I heard about that, looked into a little bit, and it is true. Brandon Royval is coming off a pretty bad concussion in training, so that is not looking good. Trending towards Van, for sure. For sure. But the quick turnaround is a big question mark. You think it's bogus that Dana said he's not giving Oral by the bonus because missing weight by 10 pounds? I don't think it's bogus, dude. I mean, if you miss, he literally had to tell the dude to stop cutting weight because he was going to be at 165. It's crazy. I don't think he should get a bonus for that. He was scared that Tom was going to tickle his booty. Probably. Maybe he probably liked that. You going to be in Vegas this week? I'm flying in from Arizona, so hype. I'm not going to be in Vegas because I just moved into my new house. I don't really want to travel right now. And honestly, I don't really want to make the trip out to Vegas for this card. I mean, it's a solid card, but you know, it's going to be pricey and all that. So I just didn't really want to go. I do know what to tell Maddie. I'll let him know, Jork. All right. Hey, Jive, is Bogdan Grad the mini Bogdan Guskov? No. But yes, similar look. Fight very differently. I think Dana doesn't even really care that much John is gone. I think he does care. I think that was a big shot to him that Jon Jones wasn't going to come back, because I think he was banking on Jon Jones fighting Tom Aspinall for the new rights deal when it comes to the broadcast. I think that's why they were trying to save it for later in the year, because one, Jon Jones wasn't really chomping at the bit. So they were like, okay, we got this Jon Jones Aspinall fight in our back pocket. We're going to use that as leverage to try to get the best deal when we're negotiating with Netflix, with Prime, with whoever, with ESPN too. So I think that does take a hit to Dana that John's not coming back. But honestly, like, is he really retired? Like, who's to say? Who's to say he doesn't come back? Like, I don't think he's actually done. I would say maybe like 65-35 that he's actually done, 65% being that he is done, 35% the door is still open. Like, if Aspinall loses, he'll be tweeting, "Oh, I told you so." Ha ha ha. Like, he'll be tweeting, and then he might come back. Like, let's say Cyril Gane beats Tom Aspinall, and then Cyril Gane loses to Jelton Almeida or some shit like that. Jelton Almeida is the heavyweight champion. You don't think Jon Jones is going to come back for a huge payday? I would I would think he would take on Jilton Almeida, bro. What do you think is next for Aspinall? What fight do you want him to take? I think he's going to fight Cyril Gane, bro. I think he's definitely going to fight him because, you know, Cyril's been on this train of like fighting one time after he loses the championship or loses in the championship fight. He'll fight one time. He'll be like, I just beat this guy. Well, you didn't even beat Volkov, but he can say he did because the judges gave him the fucking scorecards. I just beat Volkov. Who else am I going to fight? You could fight more often, but he doesn't. And the UFC likes Gane because he's French and they have a big French audience. So it's probably going to be Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall, which, you know, it should be okay fight, but does Gane really deserve it? I don't know. Do you think sports betting is affecting these decision robberies? I mean, I want to say it does, but who really knows? Like, there's really no way to know. Is PFL worth going to, or is it boring and not comparative? I would not. I mean, if you just like to watch fights, like, sure, go, because it's pretty cheap. If it's in your area, go. But like, I'm not going to sit here and say that PFL is comparative to like going to UFC. It's definitely not. Who do you think will fight in UFC Paris? I hope it's not Gane. Probably BSD, honestly. Probably BSD. Is Jamal washed? I think he's washed, dude. I think he's washed. And I said it on the Long Shots Only live stream. I was like, dude, this guy's got to show me something before I put a single penny on him. And what did he show me yesterday? That I should not put any pennies on Jamal Hill until he shows me otherwise. He got fucking chewed up and like literally technically outmaneuvered by Khalil Roundtree, who I don't think is the most technical guy, but he had a good game plan and Jamal literally just let him do what he wanted to do. Are you sweating because of this Indiana Jones? Dude, this Chino's hit me hard. Hit me hard right now. I'm like struggling to swallow. I'm burping. It's brutal. I'm the only freak show that thought there were no robberies yesterday. Everything made sense. I would say the Blades one I actually watched. So I actually, you know, I feel like Cunha definitely did way more damage in rounds 2 and 3. But the other ones I can't really argue because I didn't really watch them too much. What do you think of what's going on with Roundtree and Ankalaev? Is there ongoing beef? I don't know if there's beef, man. Like, I don't think Roundtree really beefs with anybody. Ankalaev's just on Twitter. I mean, it's not even Ankalaev, it's fucking Ali. Ali's just on Twitter trying to get Ankalaev like some type of fight that people can get excited about. You think a 3-rounder favors Van against Royval, or who you got winning it? I don't know who it favors, really. I would say it's pretty even. I wouldn't really say a 3-rounder favors Van or Royval because Royval would have the 5-round experience, but Van is a guy that builds into fights and wins round 3 at, you know, pretty insane clip outside of the Charles Johnson fight. But I would say it's pretty even. I think on my early picks video, I took Brandon Royval, but after I heard about the concussion thing, man, that's a second guess for sure. Hey, Jive, I have inside info. Terrence McKinney, first round sub. Thank me later. Well, you know, if Terrence McKinney wants to get that first round sub, he probably can, because he could definitely take down Borshev, who will fall down to a little slight breeze in the wind. But he does have pretty good submission defense, so it might be a first round TKO ground and pound. What up, Tyler? How we doing? Who's your favorite fighter after DDP and RDR? Oh, Munir with his RDR glaze. I'm going to say my favorite fighter after DDP is none other than the man fighting this weekend, Ilya El Matador Topuria. Just because he's an insane boxer. Boxing was my first martial art. Nazim's combo arc right there, nasty, dude. Very sharp call from Parlay Princess. You got a twister in your last fight. You got whooped on Friday. Bro. Jake Hadley got fucked up, dude. Fucked up. I was watching it like here and there, but dude, he looked terrible. What is PFL event in Chicago if it's not the World Championship? Isn't that in August? I don't know. I mean, I think it is. I think the championships are in August. Do a 1-2 combo in front of the camera. Bang. Probably could have pumped the jab out there a little bit more, but Alex Pereira changes fighters. No one is the same after he fights them. Well, Roundtree looked better, honestly. Almost punched my friend in the face during round 2. Rather be a duck than a jive turkey. Well, I'm going to have to look this up now. What the fuck is a jive turkey, bro? Jive turkey meaning insincere, deceitful, or dishonest person. All right, that's true. That is true. Valid. Who will win Aspinall? Who will Aspinall fight next? Jones was the only exciting and money fight for Tom. What are they going to do? Curtis Blades? 3? No, it's going to be Cyril Gane, bro, for sure. I mean, they could do Aspinall versus Pereira, but I don't know. That doesn't really. Maybe it could be good, but I don't know, bro. Thoughts on Lima versus Talbot? You reckon Talbot gets fucked? I don't really think he gets fucked, dude. Like, I actually think Talbot could, it's a buy low spot on Talbot. I mean, he got held down 10 minutes of the fight against Barcelos, which isn't good. But who's to say? Who's to say Felipe Lima goes out there and doesn't shoot takedowns? We don't know. What's your thought on Talbot fight? I think it's silly matchmaking, putting him up against another up and coming. Yeah, dude, I think it's this. I mean, I like it because it's a good fight, but 2 young prospects, it's not the worst thing because, if they take a loss, like they could definitely just go on another streak. But Talbot's coming off a loss. So, I mean, maybe this is the matchup that they made. So they're like, we got Peyton Talbot coming off a loss. Didn't look great. We got Felipe Lima. Looks like a really good fighter. If Felipe Lima can beat Peyton Talbot, then Felipe Lima is our guy. But if Talbot can bounce back against Lima, then boom, Talbot's right back on the train. Would Jon be able to come back with all the legal stuff going on? You think that had anything to do with the decision to retire? I'm not opposed to the possibility that had a decision on his, or had an impact on his decision to retire. But I don't really think that's going to impact him in any way because he's had legal stuff going on his entire career. So it hasn't really stopped him. Do you think Usman should be next for the belt? I think they should give him Bilal and then a championship fight. Yeah, give him Bilal. Definitely not next for the belt. B Fatty smoking a fatty with that take. B Fatty? I don't know what he said. With what you said about the rights, dude, do you think the UFC tries to get Poatan to go up to heavyweight and put on the biggest fight possible? Very, very possible. Very possible. Could happen. I mean, actually, I don't want to read it too far, but I mean, Poatan did just post his weight at like 246, so that could be a little hint. Who knows? I hit a plus 7766 micro bet on Bovada. Well, Curtis Blades shouldn't have won the decision, but congrats. Those were some sharp plays. Damn. Co-decision, unanimous decision. Damn. I think a quick turnaround for Van is a good thing. Fighters that fight constantly multiple times per year usually look good. Plus, Van didn't take much damage at all from Silva. I mean, he absorbed like 70-some significant strikes, but yeah, he didn't take much damage. I don't think it's going to be, detrimental to him. Went to PFL once when Burgos was the main card, and it was fake depressing. It was real depressing. A lot of those fight cards can be real depressing. Jon is a legend, and he retired. Let the man enjoy his retirement. The good news is that Dana White Contender Series, double the amount of fights. This is where we make big money because bookmakers suck at pricing them. That is good news. Love me some Dana White Contender Series. More fights. Tuesday fights. Beautiful. Give me more. Who's more likely on the juice, Evloev or Pico? Well, after I saw her in Pico today, I would probably say Pico. Back in the day, I'd probably say Evloev, but Pico, dude looked like he was sauced up. Personally hate Gane. Dude is such a brain dead Frenchman. Boy avoided Tom for a while. He has avoided Tom his entire career, bro. Roundtree points was plus 900. Yeah, that is fucking disgusting. If you can't beat Roundtree, you're not a top contender. That is true. Oh, my God. We're getting into some beef in the chat, I see. Jeez. Trust fund, baby. Wow. Wow. You better not Dumas? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, dude. The dude was literally in somebody else's house, robbing them to try to get money, I'm assuming. Otherwise, he's just robbing people for fun. In a house, robbing them. The police come. He jumps in a dog crate. And then he turns around a month later and he's fighting in the UFC. What does that tell you? The dude is showing up for a paycheck. The dude needs money. I don't know what he's paying for because he fights pretty often. He's just blowing his entire fucking $12K paycheck that he gets every 3 months. Like, come on. What are we doing? Decisions are happening a lot. They are happening. I saw a lot of people coming at me for the old gloves, new gloves things. Don't give a fuck, bro. Don't give a fuck. What do you think of the lines for underdog when you posting them? When you posting them, I've been paying attention to the lines. If they drop, you think Joshua Van would be safe to be under on strikes? I think Royval going to grapple. I mean, Joshua Van has been an auto bet on the over significant strikes, but I do agree with you. I think Royval is probably going to want to look to grapple. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one to read. All right, we're really beefing in the chat. No one better not Dumas. That's facts. Seen something about UFC Mount Rushmore all time. Who would you put on your all-time Mount Rushmore top four? Top four. I would put Jon Jones, as much as I don't want to. I would put Jon Jones. I would put Khabib. I would put Islam. And I would put GSP. Because those, I think, are the toughest weight classes. Welterweight and lightweight, very tough weight classes. You know, you could argue maybe Anderson Silva, but you know, Anderson Silva took his losses at the end of his career. Islam's career is not over. Khabib career was cut short. I think he maybe could have lost if he went longer. But that's what I would put off the top of my head. You know, there's always going to be other guys that you leave off that are like, well, I mean, come on. You know, this guy did this and this guy did that. But that's what I would put. Only pre-5 bets I have so far is Hyder Emil moneyline, plus 125. Lima moneyline, minus 180. And Van moneyline, minus 105. MMA Clips is loving those spots. Can't argue it. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be betting Lima at minus 180, but good luck to you. Do an axe kick, dude, I would tear the fuck out of my hamstring if I threw an axe kick right now. Even though I stretched this morning at the gym, I would tear that shit off the bone. Okay, I ain't doing that. Hey, Josh, lives over the Pacers game. Yeah, Pacers game just started today. Let me know in the chat who you guys want, Pacers or the Thunder, because honestly, I don't care. Thoughts on an Oliveira decision? No, I don't really see it happening, bro. I really don't. Watch the scene from the movie Airplane about talking jive. You're going to have to elaborate. My daughter throws a better 1-3, 1-2. Well, I mean, me and your daughter can fight if you really want to. We could set it up, bro. McKinney sub Cortez decision. Topuria KO. That's my second parlay of the weekend. It's not bad. Not bad. Who the fuck watches NBA? Got to be true. Yeah, I don't really watch it. Any fights? You're hearing lots of rumors / rumblings about any of them you want to see. Honestly, I haven't really been tuned into the rumors, but I think a lot of these fights are pretty set in stone, like what's going to happen. So not really. Sorry, bro. Alex was 243 with closed shoes and a full stomach. He's 238 tops, too small for Tom. He would be a lot smaller. Dana White contender series over PFL. I agree. Dumas is 12K. Went to his lawyer. I think Slava might KO McKinney. Don't sleep on Slava. I'm not sleeping on him. I can tell you that. I ain't laying the chalk on McKinney. Hell no. Hell no. I don't think SD can beat a serious fighter. I agree. Who you got in the RoboCop and Jack Hermanson fight? Am I crazy to think Jack is a great underdog pick? I don't think you're crazy. I don't know about great underdog pick, but I do think he has a path to victory. Does he choose to take it? I think he will. But can he execute it is the question, because RoboCop is downhill at all times. Hermanson fights solid off the back foot. He would have to have really good footwork, which he does. He does have good footwork. So I am kind of on the same page, but I'm not as passionate about it. Gonstein more focused on his acting career than UFC career. His movie wasn't half bad though. Haven't watched the movie, but I'll take your word for it. GSP, DJ, DC, and Islam. I mean, I would probably put DJ on there as well, but it's like the competition level, type of thing. Will UFC Chicago ever come down for $700, or is it just going to be ridiculously pricey and not worth going? I think I've made the decision, boys. I really wanted to go to UFC Chicago. It's like 2 hours from my house. I really wanted to go. I want to see DDP in a championship fight. I was there when he beat Robert Whittaker. It was sick. I was like one of the only guys in the crowd cheering because everybody was on Whittaker. And DDP is my favorite fighter, dude. My favorite fighter. I wanted to go see him fight in Chicago. But these prices are just ridiculous. They're ridiculous, dude. Like the prices for UFC pay-per-views nowadays, it's just not even worth it, dude. I can't fork out $2,000 to sit in a decent seat in the arena. I just can't do it. Like, I've done it many times. And every time I go, it's like, it's fun. It's good. But is it worth $2,000? Like, not really. Not really. I would rather go watch at like a watch party or something. And honestly, the view from the TV is better, dude. Like, I just can't do it anymore. So I'm not going to Chicago. I don't think I am. Unless the prices come down. But I'm not forking out $2,000 to sit in a decent seat in an arena, dude. I'm just not doing it. Oliveira points at +4. Dude, Chandler and Topuria, two very different things. Two very different. Roy Vol easy, says Frank. I like Hermanson, dog money too. Got a couple on Hermanson. We need Duho Choi versus Onama. Father versus son of Nate the Train. That'd be a good fight. UFC should have a midget division. Some of us little people want to be champs as well. Well, respect to all the little people out there. I'll be down to see it. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of them, but, it could be they could put it on like the prelims of the Power Slap events or something. That'd be pretty cool. Just, chuck an octagon. I mean, they don't even need an octagon. Just throw them on the little mat that they have at Power Slap. It'd be sick. Topuria is an ego guy. I feel like he's hunting the sub this weekend. Made it a point to KO Max and Alex. Odd subbing DuBronx to the ad. Dude, I'm telling you, the O's and the A's, I can't see with my eyesight. It's brutal. Yeah, I can see that. His ego is pretty big, but he's got the skills to back it up, bro. I'm crashing out, bro. I had Nazim, Urabai, Rizvan, Fiziev, and Roundtree for 5 bands, and I got robbed by that trashy decision. I was pissed, but if I had a parlay like that, I'd be even more pissed. The Jack sub in round 2 or 3 sounds good. Maybe RoboCop TKO or Jack sub. I don't think Jack's going to sub him, dude. If you're going to sub RoboCop, you got to have him rocked. It'd have to be like a club and sub. I don't really see it, but I think Jack decision probably. Poirier retirement fight is $400. $400 just to get in the door at UFC 318 for Poirier's retirement fight. And you're going to be scraping your head on the fucking ceiling, dude. I've sat in those seats. I've sat at the very top at UFC 287, I think it was, in Miami. I sat at the very top when Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira. I couldn't see shit, bro. I couldn't see shit. It's not even worth it. Pay $400 to sit at the very top. You can't see anything. You got to deal with traffic. You got to pay for an Uber. You got to pay for parking when you get there. It's just not even worth it, man. Jack is live, and I hate it. I want RoboCop to get an easy win, but this is one that's tough. It is very tough. Would you say the Apex experience was better than a pay-per-view? Personally, I would say yes. Personally, I would much rather fork out $2,000 to go watch the Apex than fork out $2,000 to sit in some okay seat at a pay-per-view. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. TV view is, you're not going to beat it. And honestly, when I'm at the fights, most of the time I have to watch the big screen. Most of the time I have to watch the big screen. Now, it's good for content because I can get like my live reaction in the arena. It's cool. But yeah, it's just different, bro. I have to moonlight pulling tricks behind the Performance Institute to afford these things. You gotta come up big time to afford tickets to UFC now, bro. Chandler trains like a monster. His actual fights are not good. UFC should do a Love Island series. They should. Really should. Can't wait to watch Love Island tonight, bro. Midget power slap is a great idea. Facts. You wouldn't get close to boxing my daughter because I'd put you in the hospital. I mean, be fatty. I mean, if you want to run it, we can, bro. We can. Get set it up. You could sell some pay-per-views. I could live stream it. Could set it up, bro. Did you watch any of the Crawford versus Canelo presser? No, I did not. Just change it to a UFC style presser. Hope they don't think that they can do boxing the exact same way. Going to seem super cheap. Oh my God. I went on the UFC Instagram like moments before I got on this live stream, and most of it is literally the fucking boxing stuff. We got the lightweight belt on the line, and then they're concerned about Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Keep that off the UFC Instagram. Bet 5 units on Roundtree last week at -160 just for him to drop at +100. Yeah, I didn't really understand why the line moved, but that is tough. At least you cash, bro. At least you cash. Fatty would gas in 20 seconds. I mean, I might gas in 20 seconds at this rate, dude. I got to get back in shape. I got to lock in, all right? I got to lock in. I'm going to do that. Oh, my God. We're really beefing, bro. Really beefing right now. In the chat. Chat's beefing hard. Can you see Ilya by sub? His grappling is very underrated, and he's been talking about how he wants to sub Charles. I mean, Islam subbed him. I think Topuria could sub him. You know, it's not like Charles has never been subbed before. Charles is very aggressive on the ground, so I mean, he could definitely put himself in a bad spot. Topuria could find the choke. Charles getting KO'd first round. I don't really think it's going to be first round because Topuria is like a guy that kind of has to get his reads a little bit. You know, he walks forward, slip, wait for his shot, explode. So he's kind of got to get his reads. And the way that I think it's kind of going to go down is Charles is fighting off the back foot, hitting him with like kicks, skirting around the octagon. Topuria is just going to be really patient. I think it could come like rounds 2 or 3, something like that. Ilya's getting strangled. Charles put up a great fight with Armin. Ilya's too little. Size does matter. Size does matter, boys. But I don't know, man. I don't really think Charles is going to weight bully him. Topuria is fucking strong, dude. Favorite upcoming fight? I would probably say DDP versus Hamzat. It's probably my favorite upcoming fight. Favorite fight on the card this Saturday would either be Talbot Lima or Van Royval, outside of the 2 title fights for sure. In the movie Airplane, there's a black man who is in pain and no one can understand what he's saying. And this old white woman comes over and says, "I speak jive." She starts talking to him. That's wild, bro. Funny scene. I'm surprised you haven't seen. I'm not really a big movie guy. Sorry. Beef Fatty, he's aggressive. Must be a Damon Jackson burner. Damon Jackson is on his burner in the chat right now, coming after me and Parlay Princess. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. I went to the nosebleeds at UFC 311, and it wasn't really worth it. It was $500. See, dude, like, I don't know who's buying those, bro. Like, I guess the only way that I could really see somebody buying them is if they've never been to a UFC event and they just really want to go to this one card, and they're like, I just want to be there. I'll pay $500 for a fucking nosebleed seat. And then they probably go and they're like, they might be happy about it because they're like, this is awesome. I spent all this money, and they're like validating it to themselves. But, imagine paying $500 to sit in the nosebleeds and then the card like sucks. You know, like, you're probably gonna be pissed, dude. You're gonna be on the Parlay Madness this week. Just started following those dudes really sharp. I don't know. Maybe I'll send James a text and see if they want me back, but I would probably be down. It's a good stream. Beefing, just absolutely beefing. How was your time in Atlanta? It was good, bro. It was good. Linked up with some boys, Dan from Half the Battle. I'm going to be on his show this week as well. So make sure you check that out. Half the Battle on YouTube. Met up with him. My boy Kyle. It was fun. It was a good time. The card kind of sucked towards the end. You know, the main card fucking blew, honestly. After the Chiesa fight, it was just downhill. So the card actually wasn't that great. But we were in a suite, the Top Golf suite. They had a Top Golf simulator. It was awesome. So it was a good time. Ilya Topuria. Crazy, bro. How many rounds do you think Ilya fight will go? I don't see it going more than 3, but I think it'll probably end in like the second or the third. Topuria round 2. Lock it in. Ilya walks around at 180. I don't know if I believe that. Fucking 5'6". Come on, bro. 180 at 5'6". Come on now. Ilya by sub is plus 600. Solid price. I haven't cashed a sub bet in a while. So I don't know if I can bet these subs anymore, bro. I don't know if I can. I wonder what the last sub bet I cashed was. I kind of want to look. Last week, I didn't bet any subs. Baku. Oh, and I bet Bogdangrad sub. That did not hit. I bet Ochoa sub. Did not hit. Barcelo sub. Did not hit. 316. Nothing. Resub did not hit. The Apex card. Denise Gomes sub did not hit. Julian Arosa sub did not hit. Barrialt sub did not hit. Benoit Saint Denis round 1 sub did not hit. He got it in round 2. Juliana Miller sub did not hit. Jimmy Flick sub did not hit. Was close though. Sumaderchi sub did not hit. Vernon Janjaroba sub did not. Dude, when was the last time I hit a fucking sub bet? I mean, is it really going to be way back? Mearshart sub, nope. Garule sub, nope. Ronaldo Rodriguez sub, nope. Rafa Garcia sub, nope. Alexa Tainara sub. There we go. UFC London. We hit Alexa Tainara sub. It's been a while. It's been 3 months since we hit a sub bet. Now, obviously, I'm not betting every sub, but like 1 or 2 a card. It's been a while. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm done with the sub bets, but sub bets ain't been looking good recently. Imagine, oh my God. Guru had a point that International Fight Week pales in comparison to UFC Abu Dhabi. I agree, bro. I agree. UFC Abu Dhabi fight night is looking like, obviously there's no title fights, but the depth of the main card on UFC Abu Dhabi kind of beats fucking UFC 317 International Fight Week. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dude. Abu Dhabi gets a card and like every good fighter is on that card. Every good fighter. You're not going to get a bad fight on a UFC Abu Dhabi card, but UFC 317 International Fight Week, we got fucking Dumas and some guy making his UFC debut. We got fucking Nico Price and Jacoby. Like, come on, dude. The depth is just disgusting when it comes to some of these pay-per-view cards. Obviously, they got to stack the main card. But is it that stacked? I don't really think it's that stacked. It's good fights, but it's not stacked. And then you look at UFC Abu Dhabi. They got like fucking Piotr Jan and Marcus McGee. Not even the feature about it. Like, come on. It's terrible. Winning round 3, Charles Topuria is plus 600. So fight ends round 3 is plus 600. That's nice. What round do you think Topuria will finish Oliveira? I said rounds 2 or 3, brother. Are all UFC fights expensive? Fight nights, not as much, but pay-per-views are disgusting. Yeah, they're bad. Do I vlog? Yeah, I have in the past. Usually if I go on like a trip, like a Vegas trip or whatever, I was maybe going to do one for Atlanta, but I just had so much going on that I just couldn't do it. So yeah, in the future, we'll probably bring back some vlogs. Really searching for a reason to find value in Charlie Olive's money line, but Ilya's leg kicks are so savage. Charles would need to get to Ilya's back, even get a chance, and he doesn't go for subs anymore. Yeah, dude, I just think it's a very tough fight for Charles, but he's a huge underdog. So, I mean, if you're betting on Charles, you're like, you know, the possibility of him getting finished is there. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, he's a plus 350 dog. It's crazy. Pantoja Topuria is a parlay lock. I don't know if I would call it a lock, though, bro. Those are two high-level fights that I think will be competitive. Van der Royval, hard to pick. Very hard to pick. 3-rounder is tough. It's short notice. A lot of variables, bro. A lot of variables. Do you like Hyder Emil as a dog? I think if he can get it past round 1, then I think he can take over. I think Emil by decision, whatever that number is, if it's like plus 400, plus 500, I'm probably going to have to take a stab on Emil decision. But I got to watch more tape on that fight for sure. But that's a great fight. I think Charles is going to be too much. Charles by sub or decision. Got some Charles love in the chat. Excited to have Matty back this week. Good to take a week off. Yeah. He'll be back. Long shots only. Live show on Friday. And Matty Betts will have a cycle for UFC 317. I'm assuming. Haven't talked to him about it, though. Carl Francis, 3-1 underdog. You think he has a chance? I do think he has a chance. I don't see how Pantoja just runs through him. Now, obviously, I have a lot of respect for Pantoja. Pantoja, I think, is one of the best. It's either him or DJ is the best flyweight of all time. And I think Pantoja is getting up there. So, a lot of respect for Pantoja, but Carl Francis, big underdog. I don't think he's out of it by any means. I think he'll put up a good fight. John Silva rage baited us with the Mitchell sub. Yeah, a lot of people have him by KO, and he gets the sub, of course. Told Matty he was never going to go for a submission. That's so crazy because he bet Silva sub like once or twice before that, and then he was like, all right, he's not going for subs, and then boom, sub. Always how it works. Favorite card up until now? Like of all time? Of all time, I would probably say UFC 300 because I was there. But one of my favorite cards was UFC. What's the number? I think 295. I was also there when Pereira knocked out Prohashka, MSG, first time. That main card was like all finishes. That was sick. And then the card where Pereira beat Adesanya to win the title. I don't know the number, but that was a good fight card as well. Matty not winning until he reinstates the Jorik on his channel. The curse stays on. Guru said he's deleting his channel if Oban loses. He fucking lost. Oban Elliott looked terrible, bro. Looked terrible. Do you see Sam Patterson send Danny Barlow 100 years? Shout out to Lars, bro. Always in the chat reminding me. Guru is not a man of his word. Most confident picks this week? Off the top of my head, there's not many. Actually, there's none. There's none. I'm looking at the card right now. I guess maybe Topuria, but yeah, there's not many. With the Dana White Contender Series increasing, that solidifies the notion that the pay-per-view model is done. The value in the cards is going to decline, but we will find value at the same time. Interesting take. Interesting take. If Royval loses, I'll delete my channel. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. I saw something wild the other day. You get 50 mil, but you have to either take a leg kick from Gaethje once every morning or once a week, day of choosing Alex Pereira body shot as hard as he can. I would probably go 50 mil leg kick from Justin Gaethje once every morning. Fuck, dude. I feel like your leg would get a little bit conditioned to it. Pereira body shot might literally make you piss blood. That could cause some severe damage. I don't know, bro. You get $50 million, but you have to either take a leg kick from Justin Gaethje once every morning or take a body shot from Alex Pereira as hard as he can once a week. I think I would take the leg kick from Gaethje every morning. Start my day with a Gaethje leg kick every morning, and then I sleep on my 50 mil all day. And all I do is prepare for that leg kick the next day. I'll take it. Curious what you think, Ilya Oliveira, the longer the fight goes, who does it favor? I think it favors Topuria because he gets his reads. And I don't really think Charles is... I mean, it's not like he has bad cardio, but I think he's a confidence-based fighter because, you know, he went the distance with Chandler, but he was winning the entire fight. You know, if Topuria is starting to get his reads and starting to hit him, his confidence goes down. We know what happens after that. Do it for the money shirt? Yeah, for sure. I was so disappointed two Scottish guys didn't co-host the long shot show. The back and forth he'll have is hilarious, especially Matty getting frustrated. Dude, it would be wild to have the Scottish boys do a co-host for the long shot show because not nobody, but most people can't understand them, bro. No, most people don't understand them. So I always have to repeat what they said so people can know what the parlay actually is. I'm ditching the Zen, boys. She dried up on me 50 minutes into the show. UFC 100, greatest card of all time, not even close. You got to understand, boys, I'm 25, okay? When UFC 100, came around, I was in high school, and I wasn't a fan in high school, okay? MMA wasn't a big thing where I grew up, so I was a fan once I got into college. I think you were there for 281 when Izzy fought Pereira. I was there 281? Was it 281? No, 281. 281 was when Pereira beat Izzy, and then 287, I was there in Miami when Izzy beat Pereira. Both cards, very good. I was in the nosebleeds for that. Yeah, nosebleeds. Alvin Hines went from headlining a jiu-jitsu event in my small hometown in a wedding venue to fighting on a UFC pay-per-view for International Fight Week in a big-ass stadium in Vegas. That's a pretty cool thing to announce to the chat. I think your boy Alvin Haynes is probably going to get knocked out. But good for Alvin Haynes. Big moves for Big Al. He has a really funny nickname, too. I forget what it is. Alvin Guzzi. Alvin Guzzi Haynes. Hines, not Haynes. Emil and Dariush are live dogs. I agree. If Carl France can't beat Royval, I don't think Van can. I know that was years ago, but still. Yeah. I mean, it was years ago. If you think long-term, a Gaethje leg kick or Pereira body shot is putting you in a wheelchair or in the hospital. It's not putting you in a wheelchair. Come on. If you could switch legs every morning, just do like once on the left, once on the right, I think you'll be good. Imagine a Gaethje leg kick every morning at 75. That's just true. That is actually true. Okay. Imagine a fucking Pereira body shot at 75. I think you're folding, bro. You might die. Gaethje leg kick at 75. The question is, does he age with me? Is Gaethje going to be like 80 years old at that point? Probably. So, yeah. I think I'll take the Gaethje leg kick. Any fighters on upset alert coming up for fights? Upset alert. Upset alert. I would probably say Pantoja, bro. Pantoja could be on upset alert. Would you rather sleep in the same bed as Matty Betts for 5 years straight or live 1 year tied up in a basement only eating cat poop and cat urine? 1 year tied up in a basement? I mean, I'll not taking that, bro. That's crazy. Do you think UFC will go on forever, like even past our lifetime? Yeah, probably. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, Parlay said it best. It's a baby, bro. It's less than 35 years old. You know, NFL's been around for a century, bro. Like, you know, we'll be good. Was watching tape on Alvin Hines last night. He's shockingly bad at everything. Yeah, he's not good at anything, really. Like an okay wrestler, but not that great. Hopefully the fighters can chase finishes this card. I hope so. I'm having a sprinkle on Nico to Homer Simpson his way to victory at 11-1. Oh my God. He would have to pull off the most insane Homer Simpson ever. Okay. Because he's going to take a beating for the first round. I can tell you that. Your boy Dumas is getting destroyed. He ain't my boy. All right. Dumas is not the world's best fighter. We can all agree on that, right? One thing you can't knock this man on, he's a solid dude. All right. He's a real solid dude, a solid citizen, a very, one of these guys that you would want to bring home. You'd want this guy to be like your best man at your wedding. Okay. Dumas is really out there showing us how to live our life. 1 year, those are rookie numbers. Any other UFC fighters other than Poirier and Jones that could retire soon? What would be some cool retirement fights you want to see soon? Retirements. Let's think about this. Let's just look at the UFC rankings. I mean, there's a lot of fighters that should retire. I just don't know that they're gonna retire this year. I can tell you that. I mean, I don't really think. Yeah, Figgy's probably not gonna retire. I think Cejudo. You could do Cejudo, and actually not. Never mind. Cejudo's probably not gonna retire. Lightweight. Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler should probably retire. Stephen Thompson should probably retire, but I know he has a fight book with fucking Gabriel Bonfim, so he's probably not going to retire. Middleweights. Adesanya. Maybe Adesanya wants to retire. You could do no. Honestly, I don't really see any. Took a lot of time for nothing. I'm sorry, boys. The UFC's dying narrative is naive, in my opinion. Their profits are only going up. Their profits are going up. That is true. It's not dying. It's just getting stagnant. I'll just say that. It's getting stagnant. It's not dying. But it's because they've roped in so many fans over the years that are just diehards. They're going to watch every Saturday no matter what. That they don't really have to go out there and like promote it as much as they once did. They're just getting stagnant. They're doing the same stuff over again. The cards get watered down because they have so many of them. They have so many fighters on the roster that once it gets to a level, once it gets to that level, the fights get lower level. And that's how it's going. So, I mean, it's not dying. It's just getting stagnant. It's getting watered down. Charles is in trouble first round. Absolutely. Dumas, really bad at stealing stuff. Very bad. Royval by decision. Dumas can date my daughter. Yeah. No. No, thank you. No, thank you. You watch Nico be in 100 parlays for the long shot. I hope not, bro. Dumas is going to bite him and give him raw rabies. It's crazy. I think Volkov deserves the title shot. Maybe if he hadn't lost to Aspinall before, but Adesanya and Pereira will retire soon. I mean, why don't they just fucking run it back for the, fucking sixth time? Why don't they just do that? Volk, maybe, yeah, I guess Volk could maybe retire, but he's the champion right now. He's not going to retire off of a championship level loss. I don't see that. When Sam Patterson becomes champion, you need to get on your hands and knees and beg him for forgiveness. I'll do that if he ever becomes champion, because that ain't fucking happening. Thank you, President Trump, for saving America and protecting Israel. Uzal. All right, B Fatty. Law-abiding citizen. Dumas or Jon Jones? Who are you trusting? I said, dude, Dumas is a noble citizen out there, okay? Give me Dumas. Cejudo versus Figgy. Good retirement fight. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that, but I was like, I don't know. Cejudo. I don't think Cejudo would fight Figgy because they trained together. They're kind of like friends. Hill versus Jan. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if Hill's going to retire. Think Aaron Pico loses? I mean, I don't think you're just going to come into the UFC and beat Movsar Evloev. I just don't really see it, bro. Buckley versus Adesanya. I would like to see that. That would be sick. I wish Izzy moved to 205 for a last run. Just not big enough, bro. Do Bronx at that line. I mean, come on. It is pretty tempting, bro. What do you think will be the best card looking back at the end of the year? Best card looking back at the end of the year. Probably the first card that we had. Was it UFC 311? It was a good card. Probably that one. You know, I think that's probably the best pay-per-view we've had this year. Izzy did move up to 205. Yeah, he got slapped around. Too small. So many Charles shills will try and convince themselves he has a chance. There are a lot. Can you do a Fortnite dance for the hot young dudes in the chat? I have played Fortnite maybe 5 times in my life, so I don't know many of them. Jones would probably sleep with Dumas. Probably. I don't know what that is. Oh, Ben Askren. What do I think about it? I hope he gets better, dude. Sounds terrible. And I think Ben's a good guy with a family, dude. Like, what do I think about it? I hope he gets better. Sounds awful. Volk should retire his cooking show and start fighting full time. He'll be unbeatable. Or the other way around. Cooking with Wolf is top tier entertainment. I've never watched one of his videos, but I know he has like people that literally just watch him for his cooking videos and don't even know he's a fighter. Who do you think will be champion of each division end of the year? Heavyweight, Tom Aspinall. Light heavyweight, Magomed Ankalaev. Middleweight, I'm going DDP. Because I'm hoping if he beats Hamzat, he's just going to chill. Welterweight, I'm going to take Islam right now. But I think Jack could give him a tough fight. Lightweight, I'm going to take Topuria. Featherweight. It's tough to say because who knows who Volk's going to fight next. And if Evloev beats Pico, does he get the fight in before the end of the year is the question. But I could see it. So I'll take Evloev. Bantamweight, Arab. Flyweight, Joshua Van. No, I'm kidding. Flyweight. I'm going to say Kai Kara-France just to be a little bit out there right now, but it's a tough fight, dude. It's such a tough fight. We'll see. Lucrative Bambi because I told him you were better than him. Well, don't tell him that I'm better than him. Maybe that is the answer to that. Don't do that. Why? Doesn't mean anything. Prediction for each pay-per-view main event for rest of 2025. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing this. There's not even all the pay-per-views lined up. There's not. Do I watch kickboxing? Glory delivered a banger. I don't really watch it, no. Sorry. What kind of TV do I have? I got none right now because they are all in transit. Don't have any furniture because the moving company is taking forever. So I got none right now, bro. Thoughts on Talbot being plus 145, 48 underdog? I think it's very tempting. Tracy Cortez wins because she is hotter and is a decision machine. Kind of agree. Have you watched any tough season? I have not. Volka boring ass fighter. Who'd he finish? A 50-year-old Korean zombie? That's crazy. It's true though. He finished here though. He did. You think JDM fights again this year? He's definitely gonna fight Islam before the end of the year. So I'll probably get fucked on my fucking ticket, but whatever. Is what it is. Will we see any surprise contenders at end of the year? I mean, maybe Joshua Van if he gets a win. Maybe he gets a title fight. If he beats Roy Vall, dude, like he's probably next for a title. Could get it by December, if not sooner, because Van fights all the fucking time. Munir, favorite submission. My favorite submission. I want to say I kind of like me a triangle, bro. Just because they're usually like, oh shit, it's locked in, and then they fucking go to sleep. Actually, no, I'd say a Darce. Give me a fucking Darce, dude. Give me a Darce. You stuff the fucking takedown. And you Darce their ass. Or Anaconda. Kind of the same thing. Not really, but somewhat. Where did I move to? I moved back home to Wisconsin, bro. Big Wisco. I don't think Cara France knocks him out or wins by points. You think he has a chance? I think he has a chance, yeah. I mean, if I had to guess, it would be 320 Vegas, 321 Abu Dhabi, 322 MSG, 321 Vegas or Perth. Well, Vegas at the end of the year for sure. So apparently there's no pay-per-view in September. So I think it might just be Abu Dhabi, MSG, and then Vegas. JDM is boring on the mic. Does he speak English? Moicano speaks better English. JDM's like a little bit autistic, kind of. Which UFC fighter do you think you do just dislike? Not because of the fighting skills or anything, but just like pure dislike. There's not many. Yeah, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. Sorry, bro. All right, boys. I'm fucking tired of standing. I've been standing for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm not gonna finish out the chats, but we're gonna cut it off there. It's pay-per-view fight week. All right. We got 2 belts on the line. We got to get in the lab and lock in some bets. All right. We got to get in the lab, the standing lab, unfortunately. We got to lock in. We got to make some money on UFC 317. Stay tuned to the channel throughout the week. Official picks coming to you. Live stream on Tuesday night. We're going to go through the entire card, break it down from the betting angle. So stay tuned for that live stream on Tuesday night. Official picks on Wednesday. Best bets video on Thursday. And then we got the Long Shots Only live stream on Friday. Should be a good week, boys. I'm out of here. Till next time, hey, John, picks. Let's go, boys. Pay-per-view fight week.